Okay, everybody. So once you've accepted that, you can come to lying on your mat. So just check that I can see your mats and coming to lying. Okay. So there won't be any class next Monday because it's the bank holiday, but classes will resume on the Tuesday. I'll be sending an email out actually this week. Okay. So why don't you lie back and bring your knees up over the front of your body? So just draw your knees up and take your arms up to the ceiling. So just have that sense of weightlessness through the arms. You've got soft fingers, soft wrists, soft elbows. Relaxing into the shoulders. Feel the groundedness of your shoulders and the weight of your pelvis. And breathing in through the nose, sighing the breath out through the lips. And there's going to be some movement. You know, you're not just lying there completely rigid. There's going to be little bits of oscillation. That's a big word for a Monday morning. Just a little bit of oscillation, just feeling into the shoulder joints, into your hip joints. Breathing in through the nose, sigh the breath out through a small gap in the lips. And right now, you're just a spine. So just allowing yourself to settle. So that's it. I can see a bit of oscillating. So at the end of your next exhale, just allow your elbows to cross over the center of your chest, fingers to the outsides of your shoulders. You're just giving yourself a hug. Feel your shoulders. Use your hands to feel into the shoulders, into your upper arms. Your breath can still come in through the nose, out through the lips, or if you want to return to breathing just in and out of your nostrils, then you can. And then take your arms back up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold them the other way. So the other elbow's on top. And again, fingers to the outsides of your shoulders. Take your arms up to the ceiling again. And just keeping your legs over the front of your body for a moment or two, so a bit longer than a moment. And you've got that feeling of groundedness through your arms. You just begin to let your knees go a little bit to one side and then back to center and a little bit to the other side. So as you do this, nothing's changing beneath your shoulder blades. So the weight remains the same. The pressure of your shoulders on the ground and your knees just moving. Inhaling center, exhaling side. So just letting that sense of movement. And you might find that the arms actually feel as though they've moved a little bit wider. So maybe a little bit wider, so that you've got more connection with the ground through the upper back and shoulders. So your upper back and shoulders grounded. And slowly, as you continue with this, you might find, keep the feet on the floor if that's better. It's fine to have the feet on the floor. but continue to feel into the upper back and shoulders. So the rolling of your pelvis. Let your upper arms and elbows gradually come to the ground at about shoulder height, not higher, possibly a little bit lower. So upper arms and elbows grounded. Your forearms are still in the air. Your fingers are soft, palms facing each other, but from quite a long way off. If everybody lets the feet gradually come to the ground, a bit wider than your hips, and continue with the movement of the knees from side to side. Inhaling center, exhaling to the side. And you'll start to feel that you want to roll your head the opposite way to your knees, extend the arm on that side, and then inhaling center, and then extend the arm on the other side as you look along it. So I'm still bringing my forearms upright as I come to the center, and then extending the arm as I take the knees one way, and I'm looking along the arm. The other hand just resting, coming over the, just lightly coming over that side of the chest. So you've got this movement. Focus on your feet for a moment. Feel the inside-outside movement. Keep the foot that the knees are moving away from, keep that foot firmly grounded. Be aware of that footprint. Next time that you come back to the center, just let your arms relax, let your legs fall away. So you're in Shavasana. So you might want to bring the arms down a little bit so they're in the A shape. Let your legs be away from sides of from each other, toes falling out. And now Shavasana, just completely grounded, being aware of those bony connection points. Be aware of your breath. So sliding your right foot in with your right knee bent, put your right foot on the floor. And keep your left arm, just take your left arm a little bit higher, as high as it will go, and bring your right arm by your side. So begin to press down through the right foot. Kneecap stays pointing at the ceiling as it moves towards the center of its own foot, and the hip rolls. So as you exhale, press down and feel that rolling the pelvis to your left, and then inhale back as you drop back to center. So it's a flow, and that's it. With the arms in this position, one up, one down, you'll feel the slidiness across your shoulder blades. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose, but keep the lips lightly touching, roundedness in the mouth, soft jaw, so that you're just aware of that sighing sound at the back of your throat. So keeping it, the movement within the breath. Inhale as you come back, exhale as you press and roll. Eyes will be rolling up to look at your top hand, which is your left hand. So feel the rolling of your head. I know it can be tempting to lift the head, but just let it roll. It's quite good to feel beneath the muscle and skin and just feel the bones of your skull and of your neck as you press and roll. And then you can actually, instead of looking up as you press and roll, look down at your right hand and then release back to center. So just have a few times where you look down and that right hand slides even closer to the right heel, inhaling back to center. So you really feel the arch in your spine as you look down, and then settling in the center, sliding the top arm down, sliding the right leg away. Just for a moment, feeling Shavasana, feeling the balanced right side, left side, might feel a bit uneven. And then sliding your left heel in, left knee bending. Slide your right arm up so that you've got a long right side. Keep the left arm by your side. So begin the press and roll. Pressing, keep the kneecap pointing at the ceiling and feel as though it's moving forwards towards its big toe each time you press and roll. And I didn't say anything about the other side, but remember the long side stays completely passive. So right now, your right side, passive, just responding to this pressure through your left foot. Press and roll. Feel your head rolling to look at your top fingers. So your eyes just rolling up. As much as possible, let the head stay on the floor. So whole body responding to that left foot. And then thinking about your left hand as it slides towards the left heel as you press and roll. And then let your eyes roll to look down at that hand as you roll. So looking down the left arm, looking to your shoulder, being aware of that. Fingers slipping towards the heel. And the next time that you fall back, bring the top arm down, slide that leg away. That left leg away, that's it. And letting go, being aware of right side, left side. And then drawing both knees up over the front of your body. So hug your knees. So as you bring the knees up, can you actually put your hands behind your kneecaps? Let your knees fall into your armpits. And the upper arms and elbows are on the floor. So you're in an upside down squat. Just a couple of deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And then slide your fingers out, leaving this joint space. Reach between your legs for your big toes. Bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling. So nothing's changed in your thighs and knees. Just holding your big toes, shins perpendicular. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And checking in with your shoulders, that your arms are dropping back, your shoulders are still on the ground. That's it. So keeping hold of your right big toe, put the left foot on the floor, put your right hand behind your knee. So as you exhale, slide your left leg long. So keep your right thigh close. You're using the hand there. So just keep it close. Slide that left leg long. And it doesn't have to be stretched. It just needs to slide away. You can keep some bend in the knee. If it's really bad, if it's very uncomfortable, then keep the knee properly bent. But otherwise, just feeling that soft release in that left leg. Feeling the groundedness of the heel, whichever position the leg is in. So keeping your right shin perpendicular if you can. So another deep breath in there. And then bringing your left leg back in, hold both big toes again. Settling with both feet in the air, holding both big toes. Feel that left thigh resting over the front body. So don't change anything about the left leg. Let go of your right big toe, put the foot on the floor. And put your hand behind the left knee and slide that right leg away. And again, just seeing how that feels. You can feel the weight of your right heel on the ground, but you can have soft knee. This is really for the hips. So it just releases, one hip's doing one thing, the other hip's doing the other. Feeling the groundedness across the back of your pelvis. Softness in the jaw. And then on your next exhale, bring that leg up, hold both big toes again. Drop the feet together, keep hold of your big toes, drop the feet down together, use your elbows to push your knees out to the side. So you're in a bit of a Baddha Konasana. Just a couple of deep breaths. You can either continue to hold your big toes or bring your hands onto your kneecaps. And begin to roll your head, let your body follow. Really using your head, so pressing firmly into the bones of your skull, onto your temples. Keep your jaw soft. Keep rolling. And then from the center, putting your feet down on the ground with the knees bent. I want you to really be aware of your heels. Could you just begin to, settling yourself in this semi-supine, but begin to thump one heel and then the other heel. So pick the foot up and thump down. And be aware of the heels, the outer edges of your heels as well. So as you thump, and then letting both feet stay on the ground, heels slightly out, toes slightly in. Hope I haven't given you cramp. So as you exhale, go down through the heels, send your kneecaps forwards, keep pressing through the heels until your pelvis begins to come off the ground. So the lightness of your pelvis as the weight transfers up through the spine to your upper back, shoulders, head. Arms, my arms are floating around over my chest and they're going back up over the head, elbows going back. So you can take the arms up and back, or you can do that next time. But be conscious of the heels, the outer edges of your heels, and relaxing the torso, so no tension in your torso. Okay. And slowly preparing to float back down, floating back down there, gradually returning to the ground. And you can leave your arms there or you can float them back. So it's all good. That's it. Make any adjustments to your feet. That's it. And when you're ready, that's it. Do that again. So feel those outer edges of your heels. And let, that's it, the pressure going down through the feet as you uncurl. Arms floating up and back if that's good. And now let your torso relax. Soften the torso, soften the belly, ribs dropping into the body, jaw soft. And on your exhale, slowly return the weight back down towards your pelvis, releasing back down. And just let your legs go for a moment, slide your legs away, let the toes fall out. And bring your feet back in. So bring your heels back in. Bring your hands, clasp your hands behind your head. So we're going to do the upper body lift. You can have your fingers behind your ears if that feels more comfortable to you. Remember, it's not a stomach crunch. You're interested in your upper spine. So feel the outer edges of your heels still. Inhale, elbows wide. As you exhale, elbow points to the ceiling, cradling your head and lifting it so you can look along the length of your front body. And then you inhale. Feel the extension of your front body from pubic bone to base of the ribs. Big breath in. As you exhale, as you lift, be very conscious of your upper spine, so your upper back. You will feel shortening in the front body and lengthening as you rest back. So the front of your body, the abdominal area, we're used to considering that, but can you now just keep your focus on the vertebra of your upper back? So neck down through the rib cage. Keep rolling up and then rolling down. Big breaths in as you go back. One more of those. Coming up as you exhale. Big breath in as you go back. And when you rest back this time, just bring your knees back up over the chest, cross your feet at the ankles, bring your arms around the outsides of your legs, hold the feet, chin on the chest. We're going to come up to sitting, but I want you to roll along the length of your spine as you do that. Keep the chin on the chest. So all the time rolling, all the way back, all the way up. Just do that in your own capacity. until eventually you're up. I've got cramps, so I just do a little bit of that. Okay, so coming to sitting, bringing one foot up and putting your fingers in behind the toes. So let's pay a bit of attention to the feet. Support the shin with your other hand and circling the foot at the ankle. So let's just work here. Circling the other way. Pushing the toes backwards and forwards. So, and also your ankle will go backwards and forwards. Just have a bit of a massage of the center of the foot with your thumbs, right up to the base of each toe and to the tips of your toes. So just massaging there. And then same foot, just stretch the big toe and the second toe backwards and forwards. Big toe and second toe. Second toe and third toe. Third and fourth. Fourth and fifth. Now, excuse my foot. From from your little toe, just going down the outside of your foot, there's if you run your finger down, you might feel a bit of a bump before you get to the heel. There's about 2 fingers width before you get to the heel. That's the end of a bone of your little toe. Just feel into there and using the pads of your fingers, press in as though you want to separate the little toe bones from the rest of the foot. So I don't know if you could see that, but just press in and massage. I have actually got an anatomical foot, not my own, but it's in the other room. So just pressing up and down, just feeling that bone. I'll bring it next time, my anatomical foot. And just really feeling in to the foot, moving it backwards and forwards. The soft tissues there, pressing into base of the foot. Okay, that'll make a big difference to our yoga shortly. So bringing the other foot up, fingers in behind the toes, and circling the foot at the ankle. Circling in the opposite direction. And then press your toes backwards and forwards, including the ankle going backwards and forwards. And give the center of your foot a massage with your 2 thumbs. So massaging and pressing up here. Right up to the base of each of your toes and to the tips of your toes. And then big toe and second toe just moving backwards and forwards. And then second and third toe. Third and fourth toe. fourth and fifth toe. And then if you just keep awareness of this fifth toe, just putting your fingers down the side, just run one finger down the side until you're about 2 fingers away from the heel. You'll feel there's a little bump just there, which is the bottom of your little toe. And put your fingers in and just feel as though you want to make space. You want to separate that bone. It's all soft. Just moving your fingers up and down there. You can have your hands on both sides of your feet, but pressing particularly into this little finger side, little toe side. So just pressing in and out. Well done. And then if we come to, let's come to child's pose for a moment. So folding into child's pose. Just let yourself find support for your forehead. So make sure your forehead is supported, either on your 2 fists or your flat hands. When you're ready to uncurl, anchor your sitting bones, uncurl slowly. So you come up part by part, sitting bones on your heels, head comes up last until you're all the way up. And then we'll come to kneeling upright on the knees. Let's turn my camera up a bit. Okay, so up on the knees. And we're going to just bring the arms forwards and up, soft. Can you see palms facing soft? I'm going to reach all the way up the right side and then all the way up the left side. So it's very different to when we're standing, because it really is only about the sides of the body. But you're reaching, you can still feel the extension, little compression. One side and then the other, and then reach up both sides, and as you exhale, release your arms out to the sides, right down by your sides. Okay. If you come into the all fours, just checking that your elbow creases roll forwards. So roll your elbow creases forwards. If you take the elbow creases round and back the other way, they won't go the other way, but elbow points out to the sides. Just feel your shoulder blades right here. I actually feel as though I've got a bit of compression at the bottom of my neck. So as I roll the elbow creases forwards, the arms straighten. I feel my shoulder blades going together down the back. No compression around my neck, my head is free. So then start your cat pose, rounding up as you inhale, releasing down as you exhale. So elbow creases, stay firmly forwards, rounding up as you inhale, and releasing as you exhale. So keep that going. And we're going to go back onto the heels for a moment, just resting back. Resting back into child, so folding down into child again. Come back to the all fours. Begin to bring right hip to right shoulder, and then inhale center, left hip, left shoulder. So your thighs stay completely still, and your pelvis is moving. Your eyes are looking between your hands. You're not looking over your shoulder. You keep this movement going. This is a little bit like the movement we did kneeling upright just now. Reaching up. Thinking about that. And then when you come back to center from your left next time, just bringing yourself back onto your heels. You can go into child or you can kneel upright. So whatever works for you. Being aware of your breath. And then coming back up to kneeling, we're going to bring the right foot forwards and tuck your left toes under. So we did all that work on the foot. Feel the outer edge of the front foot, your right foot, the outer edge of the heel. So relaxed fingers, exhale, and inhale as you come down. So going up as you exhale, inhaling as you come down. So this runner's stretch. Being aware of the outer edge of both feet. The back foot, you come onto the ball of the foot, but then when you go head down, bottom up, the back foot goes to the floor. Just feel the outer edge of that foot and heel. Inhaling when you come down, exhaling when you go up. It's about your legs. All of the effort is in your legs. Make sure that your knee is level with your instep so that your back heel goes to the floor. Front foot, if possible, is on the floor. Everyone soft neck, soft jaw. Let's swap sides. Next time you come down, swapping over. So instep and heel, knee, instep and knee are level. Exhale, inhale. Keep looking at your feet each time your head down, because that really keeps all of this chain of joints working well. Really is about the legs. Inhale as you come down, breastbone lifts a little. Exhale as you go up. And next time that you come down, returning to child's pose for a moment. Just coming back down into child. And coming back up to kneeling upright. So we'll bring, so she rolling around, bring the right foot forwards and then take it back. So just bringing the right foot forwards, taking it back. So I can't hear you, but no thumping. Try not to thump. You obviously go a little bit to the side, that's fine, that's because you're balancing. Let's bring the other foot forwards. Next time you bring that foot back, just resting down for a minute. So you can rest in child or kneel up, being aware of your breath. And then we'll kneel up again. And this time, going to step your right foot forwards, put your left toes under, look straight ahead, soft gaze. We're going to come up here and step into Tadasana. And then the same leg, the left leg goes back. You're still looking at that same spot and you come down to kneeling. Same side again. Inhale. As you exhale and come up, step forwards. So inhaling for a moment. As you exhale, stepping back and coming down. Have a big inhale. As you exhale, come up and step forwards. Inhaling up here. As you exhale, stepping back and come down. Can we do that once more on this side? So once more, inhale on the ground, exhale as you come up. Inhale up there, exhale and go down. And then just resting in child for a breath, just so that, just have a little rest. So inhale as you exhale and uncurl into kneeling up. So it's that soft gaze straight ahead as you bring your left foot forwards, tuck your right toes under. So the inhale, as you exhale and lift and step forwards. And then exhale as you go down again. So you inhale here, exhale to lift, coming forwards, Tadasana, inhaling, exhaling as you go back and down. Inhaling, as you exhale, come up, step forwards, inhale here, exhale and step back. So it's the same leg going back. Let's do that once more. Inhale on the ground, exhale as you lift. Gosh, that was hard as I was. Inhale in mountain pose. Exhale as you go back, come down. So coming into child pose again. So resting in child. And then uncurl into kneeling up. We come to the all fours with both toes tucked under and drop back onto your heels. So your hands planted not too far in front of you, elbow creases forward. So be really conscious of the creases forwards as you lift your knees. And just hold that. So you're leaning on the arm bones and your thigh and leg muscles are doing the work. Put your knees back down again. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So elbow creases forwards as you lift the knees. This time on the exhale, start to unfold into dog. Coming right up on the balls of your feet, look at your toes, spread your toes. You can pedal, you can put one heel down and then the other. Keep the elbow creases pointing forwards. The more you think about it, the more you can feel your two shoulder blades drawn together down your back. Come up on the balls of both feet. Let your heels go back, bottom go back to your heels as you come back down to the ground. So you're folding down like a hairpin back to the floor. Relax your feet for a moment and rest in child. And then coming back up to kneeling, resting on your hands again. So sitting, tucking your toes under, lifting the knees, elbow creases forwards as you uncurl into dog. So uncurling, well done, right up on the balls of your feet. Elbow creases strongly forwards. And walk your fingertips towards your feet as your heels go down. You rest over your thighs in a hanging forward bend. Just letting yourself hang in the forward bend. Soft neck, soft jaw. And then from there, start to uncurl into standing. Be aware of the outer edges of your feet. There's little toe bones as you come up. So you're coming up here. You can put your cameras up or you can leave them there. I can see all of you, so that's fine. Be aware of the outer edges and the inner edges. So if you just lift your toes, roll onto the outer edge of one foot, the inner edge of the other, and then the other way. Just feeling those. Now, stand in mountain pose. Really be aware of the heels. Be aware of your right heel. Step this right foot forwards. As you step it forwards, it's just a short step. And take it, rather than just keeping it in line, just take it a little out to the side. So you've got a bit more space, but it is a short step. Feel the outer edges of your heels, the outer edges of your feet. Now, what I'd like you to start to feel, and it's not that subtle, it's quite hard work. I stand like this. So your right foot is forwards. Can you think if put your hand on your left sitting bone? So just dig your fingers into the crease of your buttock and feel that left sitting bone. It's quite a thick bone. Just give it a rub. But I've never asked you to do that before. And now, just as you let go of that, just be aware that it's actually directly above that heel on that side. And actually, you could just slide your other foot back, but this leg is doing the work. And then take your right foot forwards again. But your left leg is grounded. Just stay with that. So if you hinge, bring your fingers into the top of your legs. Really say you're lifting over your thigh bones and bring the body forwards. Keep awareness of the back heel, back sitting bone being directly above the back heel all the time. Coming forwards. So most of the weight is in your back leg. Let the right hand come down to the inside of your right leg. Feel the outer edge of both feet. Put your left hand on the back of your pelvis. So think about your ribs and roll your ribs in the pelvis. Keep the pelvis still as you roll the ribs to the left. So all the time, you're thinking about that left sitting bone still being directly above your left heel. And some deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Another deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring yourself back to center. You can bring the right hand onto the back of your pelvis as well. Have a big breath in there. Beware of the sitting bone and the heel as you come up. So you're just coming up here, back into this cyclone, stepping back. So just bring yourself back into mountain pose. So I've never been to the pyramids, but I've seen pictures. And this is what the people look like in the pictures, just heavy into the heels and walking with almost straight legs. So if we step your left foot forwards this time, and again, it's a small step, but it's wide. And feeling, you can just sway your hips a little bit, feeling into the heels. So just put your hands on your hips, feel into the heels, the outer edges of your feet. And then using your fingers, crease of your buttock on that right side, just press up and just rub that sitting bone. So you're just pressing, feeling that sitting bone. It's quite interesting. Very thick, they're just like your heels. So then feeling that that sitting bone is directly above the back heel. This front foot is quite light actually. So fingers at the top of your legs. Feel yourself coming up and over your thigh bones. They're rolling in your hips. This sitting bone at the back is still directly above the heel on that side. So the body's parallel to the ground. See how you're on the outer edges, heavily to the outer edges of your both feet. Left hand on the inside of the left knee, and then slip the right hand to the back of your pelvis, palm down. Breath in. As you breathe out, begin to roll your ribs. So roll the ribs. They're rolling in the pelvis. So you've rolled to look to the right. The legs are doing most of the work. The rolling of the ribs is quite hard work. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Still be aware of the back sitting bone directly above back heel. So you've got that sense of anchoring. Another deep breath in, and then square yourself up, both hands on the back of your pelvis. Think about both heels, press into the heels, come up. So all the way up here, anchored by that back foot, step the front foot back, and you're back in mountain pose, just standing in mountain pose. Be aware of both sitting bones above both heels. I know that most normal people don't think about this, but in yoga it's quite useful, and it's useful for every day, because when you're tired and collapsing, probably find maybe your sitting bones go further back than your heels. You want to be joint over joint, bone over bone. It's actually less effort. So just taking a few moments here to be aware of how you feel in mountain pose. Arms hanging, breath coming and going, smooth and easy. And then we'll turn the toes out a little. As you roll down, knees going out, just rolling over into the frog. If you're not doing frog, come into the lunge. I was working with somebody on Saturday who couldn't lunge and couldn't do the frog either. I had my work cut out. She ended up sitting on a chair with the legs wide. So let's just do whatever we can to keep these joints, all of the joints, free and moving. I don't know if you're interested, But each time I go to the side, the foot at the back, the heel is that I'm actually sitting my sitting bone on the heel. I don't know if you can, any of you can feel that. So the sitting bone and the heel are quite close to each other. And then put your hands behind you. If you're lunging and you've done the other side, it's fine. And we'll come to sitting. Legs out. I'm just putting my camera down a bit. And let's just come to here. Legs wide and feel your heels, okay? So all we're going to do right this morning is just feel into the heels and the sitting bones. So just feeling down, bringing the arms in. You can cross them. I think it's fine to do this. If you bring the arms into the center, so that you're really conscious of the heels and the sitting bones, and deep breaths in and deep breaths out. And noticing that sense of lift coming in. So rather than collapsing forwards, you're developing a feeling of lift. So using your sitting bones, the heels are counterbalancing, and you've got a sense of lifting up. If you're able to bring one heel in to the center of the body, and then the other heel in, or just coming into a cross-legged, but you really want to feel both sitting bones. If you want to keep your legs straight out, that's fine. So whichever one you're doing. Keeping the softness in your jaw, soft jaw. And you've got that sense, because your arms, rather than putting your arms out here, arms on the inside, and you've got a sense of lift. You can keep the elbows in as you put the backs of the hands on your knees. And just hearing the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. So you've got the sighing sound at the back of your throat. But now make it a bit more powerful. Go right to the end of the exhale. Feel as though the breath has gone right down to the pelvic floor. And the next in-breath comes from the pelvic floor, drawing it right up. So you exhale all the way down through the body to the pelvic floor. And you draw the next in-breath right up from the pelvic floor. So keep that going for a few more moments, listening to the breath. Keeping the face and the jaw soft. When you're working like this, when you're really listening to the Ujjayi breath, it's very difficult to collapse. You couldn't possibly do this sort of breath, Ujjayi, if you were collapsed. It just doesn't work. So it's keeping spine upright. And it also really relies on having a firm base. You can do it standing, you can do it any position where you're really firmly grounded. So it's powerful, but it's extremely calming at the same time. So just letting that go. Noticing how you feel as you let it go, normal breathing. And preparing for relaxation. So putting on socks and tops. Making yourself warm. So when you come to the ground, really make sure that you can settle your coverings, settle your clothing. Support your legs with your bolster. Use a blanket. Cover your eyes if you have anything to cover them with. It's quite useful to cover your eyes. Just reduces some of the sensory input. So when you come to the ground, your body recognizes the ground. There's no effort. There's nowhere to go, nothing to be done, nothing to strive for. You have arrived. Welcome home to yourself and to the practice of Yoga Nidra. And feel how the breath moves freely and easily through the body, effortlessly, as if the breath is now breathing the body. Observing as the breath is coming in and observing as the breath is going out. And with each exhalation, notice how the effort of carrying the body around can be given up to the earth. As the body continues to settle in to a deepening sense of stillness and quietness, notice the leisurely, spacious flow of the breath. Invite the mind to form the awareness. I am practicing Yoga Nidra. This awareness holds us in the space of Yoga Nidra like a safe vessel or nest. And invite an intention to make inner harmony the priority. Inner harmony. With this intention, follow the breath down through the breastbone into the center of the heart space. Silent awareness of the inner teacher. The warmth, the intuitive guidance of the inner teacher. simply holding the attention at the heart space. Be aware, I am practicing Yoga Nidra. And Yoga Nidra is a form of awareness. And now that awareness is going to travel around the body while the body takes a deep and welcoming rest. The light of mental attention shines on each part of the body like a bright, warm sunshine, shining around the body, first at the crown of the head, over the eyebrow center, and over the face to the right shoulder, down the right arm to the hand, to the tips of each of the fingers and thumb. Draw the light of attention back up through the arm, across the collarbones to the left shoulder, and shine the light down the left arm, to the hand, to the tips of the fingers and thumb. This light shining at the tip of each finger and thumb, shining in the palm, shining back up that left arm to the shoulder, across the collarbones to the center. And dropping this light of awareness down into the center of the chest, the center of the breastbone, in behind the right breast, in behind the left breast, back to the center, and down to shine behind the navel, and deep into the pelvis, to the right hip. Shine this light of mental awareness down the right leg, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, into the foot, to the tip of each of the toes, between the toes. Shine the light back through the center of the foot, up through the center of the ankle, through the leg, the inner knee, to the inner hip, to the center of the pelvis. And shine this light of mental awareness into your left hip, through the left leg, the knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, the whole foot, shining at the tip of every toe, between every toe. Shine this light back through the foot, through the leg into the knee, the thigh into the hip. Shine the light in the pelvis, this light of awareness. Draw this awareness back up to the navel, and be aware of both legs and the pelvis, shining with the warm light of conscious awareness. And from the navel, lift this awareness home to the heart, to shine in the heart. I am practicing Yoga Nidra. I am practicing Yoga Nidra, a form of awareness settling into the whole body. With every inhale, it feels as though the whole body is full of radiant, healing light. And with the exhale, it feels as though all of the light is gathering into the center of the heart, a potent center point. Be with these two different sensations, the expansive radiance on the inhale and the focus point of bright light on the exhale. Experience these two sensations. Can you begin to sense both sensations simultaneously. The single-centered point and the radiant expansiveness. How does that feel? Be aware I am practicing Yoga Nidra, a form of awareness. And now let go and simply be aware of the natural resting temperature of the body, the natural flow of the breath moving through the body. Feel the body resting on the floor, the physical body being breathed by the breath. The awareness is resting on the breath. And begin to count down the next 5 breaths. Count down from 5 to 1. If it goes astray, it doesn't matter, simply start again. The point is to let the breath be the center of awareness. And now, wherever the count is, stop and let it go. I am practicing Yoga Nidra. Be aware now of gathering all the focused awareness back into the space of the heart. Let the awareness rest at the space of the heart. And now welcome in the natural, intuitive guidance of the inner teacher. Listen right here, right now. Make space for your affirmation, inner harmony, to be heard. And carrying this intention out from this practice into the rest of the day. Breathe more loudly. Begin to wriggle. Begin to take your awareness outwards. So breathing more loudly, starting to move, wriggle. So drawing the knees up, rolling, moving, hugging. Make yourself into a small tight ball on one side. And then from your side, coming up to sitting, but with your eyes closed. And if you bring the palms together and rub the palms briskly, place the palms over your closed eyelids. Feeling the heat and energy through your eyelids. Begin to stare into the darkness of your hands. Slowly bring your hands away from your eyes. Thank you, everybody.